When I was a kid, I wanted to change the world. I wanted to bring people together. What I found growing up, a lot of conflict, a lot of issues between people, were the result, were from, I guess, a lack of understanding. That lack of understanding was, I guess, ill information. People were ill-informed. And what I found is that when people are informed, there's more understanding between each other, and then there's more empathy. Growing up in the media in the 90s in South Vancouver, what I really noticed was a lot of headlines mentioning, I guess, ethnicities of people that were just Canadian. For example, Indo-Canadian violence and Chinese-Canadian this. And growing up, I guess, it created sort of that stereotype. And me as an Indo-Canadian kind of only gave me those types of paths, I guess, and generalized my community into, hey, maybe I'm just supposed to be a gangbanger or something. So that, what I realized from that is that the power that media has to create something, create this information, create these stereotypes, be able to shape people's minds, be able to shape their decisions, is a very powerful thing. And then you see it on a larger scale as well. When the Olympics happened here in 2010, the media across Canada and around the world were raving about how well it was run, how well it was organized, such a great Olympics. And then you had the British media that were really hating on it. And there was a lot of negative coverage about the Vancouver Olympics. And so that affects things like tourism coming from the UK. How could it be that one country is seeing Vancouver in such a negative light, but the rest of the world is seeing Vancouver in such a positive light? And we were having a great time. So a lot of the world issues today, you see, conflicts over things like finances, and you see poverty, you see climate change, you see terrorism. I think it's really just a lack of information that's out there between people. There's a disconnect, and which has formed that lack of understanding, that love between humans. You see in the US as well, you see left-wing media, you see right-wing media, and the way they cover politics and the bazillion debates that they have, it's very different. So that really gets me thinking, what is the job and the role of media? Is it not to inform everybody about the facts, the cold hard facts on exactly what's happening, or is it supposed to have an agenda? Like, is it entertainment? I mean, I disagree. I think media needs to be informative. We want to create a society that is empowered with the right information, the tools to make the right decisions, Things like voting. Voting is so important. And with politics, even in Canada, you saw a lot of coverage before the election, Canadian election. And on the day before the actual election, you saw a national newspaper chain draped their front page with a particular political party. It was advertised. It was marked as an advertisement. But that really makes you question, though, was all the coverage before that unbiased? how can a political party, and there was a lot of, publicity on this, does that sway people? Does the public lose trust within that media source? So with that, I guess, that information, does that create an agenda? Does it create media to push the envelope on the facts? There's a lot of advertisers out there as well. You have these large drug companies in the US and other places all over the world, and they spend big dollars on advertising on TV, on radio, on print, and it's, I guess, feeding the business. A media company is a business. Does that not allow for that editorial reporting on the negative aspects of that company? We have digital media now, which is, I guess, a primary source of news and information for most people now. You have social media. And what you find sometimes with social media is that, and you'll probably notice this yourself, is that normally you're following like-minded individuals and, I guess, media sources with the same values and views as you are. But that really puts you in a box. You don't really get to see the other perspective. You may be very left-wing, but what's the right-wing perspective? I think it's important to sort of know, vice versa, where the other side stands. And I guess your friends on Facebook as well probably have the same values and are sharing the same type of content as well that you believe. So what I would say with that is, of course, everybody just, I guess, needs to be conscious of that and really step outside the box and discover other sources. The internet and social media has allowed things to become much more transparent as well. Media may report on something, and then they'll get a ton of backlash on it as well. You know, whether it's through their Facebook comments, through tweets, on their Instagram comments, Snapchat. Well, not really Snapchat, a little bit. Which I think is healthy if people actually read an article, first of all, but it's healthy in terms of calling out, I guess, the BS that exists, fact-checking, and creating discussion. And social media has really provided that platform for that discussion. And I feel like it's, with all the banter and all that, some of that negativity that's out there, I feel like it's headed in the right direction, though. A lot of digital media publications have actually started taking out, I guess, obviously spam and some of the trolling that goes on. But more and more, you're starting to see a lot of people that are more informed and on the good side of the fence spreading a lot of positivity. You see sometimes, I guess, when, I guess, Miss America was crowned a couple years ago, and she was of an ethnicity, and you saw all these racist comments go out there, not being the typical American Miss America, and, you know, blonde, blue eyes, and all that. But you saw a lot of positivity come out of it as well, a lot of information on people defending on what it means to be American. what it means to be human and accepting all and that we're all one human race. So what I would say from all this is that finding the truth is really important. Relying upon maybe just one media source or a few social media accounts for, I guess, most of your information could be okay, but definitely for a lot of things, go out there and step outside the box and see what the media within another country is saying rather than what your country is saying about conflicts or issues within that are foreign. And with that, as we get more and more informed, we'll get that understanding and learn to love each other more and more around this world and be able to create that change. That's all.